Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I would like to thank a viewer for the tip on this bill which, through changes to the legal definition of a homicide, would outlaw most forms of self-defense in California. I was actually surprised to learn that self-defense was still allowed there. Needless to say, I wish that I could say that I was shocked by this bill, but unfortunately, it's kind of along the lines of what I would expect from the state, and also, unfortunately, it was a little familiar. The law reads very similarly to the laws around self-defense back in Massachusetts, my former state, so I am well versed here. Mainly, for the most part, the law is that you aren't allowed to do it. Now, according to the bill's summary, this bill would eliminate certain circumstances under which homicide is justifiable, including, among others, in defense of a habitation or property. The bill would additionally clarify circumstances in which homicide is not justifiable, including, among others, when a person uses more force than necessary to defend against a danger. But before I read you off the new definitions in Assembly Bill 1333, this video is brought to you by Blackout Coffee Company. Blackout is a Florida-based coffee roaster that has strong roots in supporting Second Amendment rights and traditional values. They support channels like mine and have a dedicated partner roasts that raise money for GOA, FPC, and even the Second Amendment Foundation. So to get a cup of coffee or tea or hot chocolate that you can be proud of and help the channel, go to blackoutcoffee.com/LibertyDoll, and as a bonus, use code LibertyDoll for a one-time 20% discount. So, this new bill in California changes the definitions of homicide in the state and includes a duty to retreat in self-defense situations unless the person is inside their own home and can assess that the attacker is hell-bent on murdering them. Now, a lot of the bill is pretty ambiguous, but the meaning behind this section here is pretty clear. Homicide is not justifiable when committed by a person in all of the following cases. 1. When the person was outside of their residence and knew that using force likely to cause death or great bodily injury could have been avoided with complete safety by retreating. 2. When the person used more force than was reasonably necessary to defend against a danger. 3. When the person was the assailant engaged in mutual combat or knowingly engaged in conduct reasonably likely to provoke a person to commit a felony or do some great bodily injury, except if either of the following circumstances apply. A. The person reasonably believed they were in imminent danger of death or great bodily injury and had exhausted every reasonable means to escape such danger other than the use of force likely to cause death or great bodily injury. B. In good faith, the person withdrew from the encounter with the other assailant or assailants and indicated clearly to the other assailant or assailants that the person desired to withdraw and terminated the use of any force, but the other assailant or assailants continued or resumed the use of force. I'm sorry, that just clicked. You know, I read this over 3 times and it just clicked. 3. Homicide is not justifiable when committed by a person in all of the cases when the person was the assailant unless, in good faith, the person withdrew from the encounter with the other assailant. So technically, someone could attack you, and as long as they said that, oh no, sorry, I'm done attacking, you can't defend yourself. Okay. Sorry, that just clicked as I was reading it off. All right, back to the rest of the video. Real-time reaction right there. So for the rest of it, in layman's terms, current California law says homicide is justifiable when committed in defense of habitation, property, or person. Under this new bill, you'd still be able to defend your life or that of your wife and kids, but only inside your home after you made an attempt to retreat and only using equal or lesser force than your attacker. And never, as just clicked like you saw, if your attacker suddenly goes, oh wait, never mind, then you gotta call it and just let them leave, I guess. Though then that raises questions of like, what if they say, oh no, I'm not attacking anymore, but are still holding a baseball bat or something? Do you have to go by their word or the fact that they're still holding the baseball bat? So many questions. Critics have been pretty vocal in the local news and on X, including Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco, who is also running for governor for 2026, to which the bill's sponsor, Democrat Zabur of LA, said, AB 1333 was never intended to limit a crime victim's right to defend yourself, your family, or your home. Which is not exactly how it reads. The goal is to prevent wannabe vigilantes like Kyle Rittenhouse from provoking violence and claiming self-defense after the fact. We will amend the bill to make this crystal clear. Yeah, I don't believe for 1 second that that was his full intention, and I find it interesting that this bill was introduced not long after California residents were forced to defend their homes against a flood of looters after the wildfires. Also, if this was purely about stopping people from going and committing vigilante justice and then claiming self-defense, why is there even a provision that you have to use equal or lesser force even if the person's in your own home? Is it still vigilante justice if someone breaks into your house intent on murdering you? And I mean, how are we going to define equal or lesser first in cases of sexual assault? What's the line here? How are we going to define exactly what is considered equal force in that kind of case? I mean, I don't need to pull this apart for you guys. The problems with this bill are clear. Now, Moms Demand released a statement saying that this bill is needed to protect people against violent extremism and political violence, but I don't remember Moms Demand standing up and demanding laws over rocks or smoke bombs or fireworks or knives or bike locks or any of the other weapons that we saw during the 2017 Battle of Berkeley when Antifa clashed with First Amendment protesters over college speakers over and over again for months, looted, set things on fire, were thrown around trash cans like trash did something to them. I don't remember them standing up and condemning the CHOP or Chaz in 2020, where people were shot and others injured when Antifa took over parts of Seattle for almost a month, including a police precinct. Now, obviously, there have been a lot more incidents than that, but those are the two biggest ones that immediately come to mind. No one on the left seemed to care when there were people in the CHOP and Chaz with guns because, well, they were on the left's side. The legislation explicitly underscores that Californians must avoid resorting to fatal actions when they have the opportunity to de-escalate or disengage from a conflict outside their homes with the aim of preventing violent confrontations. It also clarifies legal accountability for individuals who choose not to take these precautionary measures, they wrote. Yes, because a law saying that the person being attacked cannot defend themselves is going to stop violent confrontations. This legislation builds on California's gun safety legacy and lays the blueprint for the rest of the nation, says Monisha Henley, Senior Vice President for Government Affairs at Everytown for Gun Safety. White supremacists and other extremists have hidden behind self-defense laws to fire a gun and turn any conflict into a death sentence. Now, lawmakers have an opportunity to help stop that and save lives. I have a potential solution. If you're worried about people dying in violent conflicts, how about don't fuck around and find out? Oh, you know what? I've been trying so hard not to swear in these videos because every time I do, I have to mark it on this little like self-rating survey on YouTube, and they don't like that, and there I went and did it. But you know what? This one deserves the F-bomb. Ironically, the statement goes on to condemn a rise in armed militias using self-defense as an excuse for murder, which I'm not even aware of as being a thing, but the statement links to an NPR article on Kyle Rittenhouse with the specific highlighted section pointing out that Rosenbaum had reached for Kyle's gun. But they only condemn Rittenhouse. Under this bill, homeowners would have to make split-second decisions on what is considered equal or lesser force to technically stay within the letter of the law and still possibly be prosecuted for it. We'll have to see if Zbur really does amend his bill. As of right now, it was introduced on the 21st and has yet to see any changes on the state website. All right, folks, that is it for this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you are new here, ring that notification bell and drop a comment down below for the algorithm powers that be that I just angered by swearing. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe out there and happy shooting.